Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday, May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everyone. And I am going to be reading Icebergs, Floating Snow Cones with all of you today. If you remember correctly, we're learning about the different types of text structures that are present in nonfiction or informational text. And the three that we're learning about right now are cause and effect, compare and contrast, and sequence and order. The purpose of reading this text is to apply that strategy to our reading and be able to identify those text structures when we're reading on our own. So Mr. G is going to read this to you guys. You guys just follow along with me. And then when you're done with watching this video, there are some questions, some multiple choice questions on a Google form that I want you guys to answer. So without any further ado, we can tell here the title, Icebergs, Floating Snow Cones, that this text is most definitely going to be about icebergs, but I really don't know if the author is writing this text in a primarily sequence and order, compare and contrast, cause and effect, or a combination of all three. So let's see as we read this what we can see in this text. Icebergs, floating snow cones. Icebergs, giant blocks of ice that float in the sea, come in many shapes, sizes, and colors. Some are deep blue or green. Some look like floating sculptures. Old icebergs that have been worn down by weather sometimes look like pillars of ice. How is an iceberg formed? Icebergs begin and end in the ocean. First, moisture from the ocean rises into the air and moves up into the Earth's atmosphere. Over Antarctica, where air is cold, the water falls as snow. As layers of snow develop, their heavy weight presses down and turns the snow to ice in the frigid polar climate. Lots of ice. In fact, 90% of all the world's ice is on the continent of Antarctica. Huge areas of ice called ice sheets and glaciers move slowly across the continent toward the sea. The fastest moving Antarctic glacier moves about 1.25 or 1 1/4 miles in a year. When glaciers finally reach the coast, huge pieces split off into the ocean. These are icebergs. Scientists call the splitting off of icebergs calving. Icebergs are a lot larger than a calf, though. One of the largest Antarctic icebergs formed recently is 185 miles long and 25 miles wide. Usually, only about 1/5 of an iceberg appears above the surface of the water. The other 4/5 of the berg is hidden underwater out of sight. Sometimes an iceberg has what is called a foot, an extension completely underwater. These are especially dangerous for ships. It was an iceberg foot that sank the Titanic in 1912, killing 1,503 people. Every year, thousands of new icebergs are formed in the ocean around Antarctica. If you're lucky, you'll get to see one day. Did you know because icebergs come from the land, not the sea, they are made of fresh water, not salt water? That's the end of this text right here. So, what I'm going to have you guys do now is read this on your own. Click on the link so you can read it a second time to get a little more information, and then answer the questions that are on the Google form. And I look forward to hearing from you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.